Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Awesome 80s podcast. This is Michael. Go away.
This is
Go
Lawrence.
away. How's it going?
I'm in Florida. I'm on vacation. Brought my banner. And the internet doesn't work in Florida.
I just thought it was awesome, like, when you were packing your bag, and you're like, well, I got my extra underpants, I got socks, I got my flippy floppies. I'm going to wait. I'm going to need the banner. I'm going to need the banner if I'm going to go to Florida.
I'm going to need the banner. I hope this is coming across okay. I had to improvise. I apologize to you, Michael. I apologize for the whole state of Florida for everything, not just for this, but basically for just existing.
I think, isn't it supposed to be underground or like underwater soon?
20 years. I don't know,
20
50 years. 50 years. 50 years.
So I mean, we realistically we could see them underwater.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Where I'm at now, right now, is about, I'd say, 150 yards from the ocean.
Oh, that
So
sounds nice.
there's no way this house exists in 50 years. There's a $30 million house down, 2 houses down.
Mm-hmm.
That house, it's built to withstand 225-mile winds.
Okay.
However, I don't think it's going to survive flooding. It looks like the Sleeping with the Enemy house. If you've ever seen Sleeping with the Enemy, like there's this glass.
Is that the Julia Roberts one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you all about it another time. These people don't need to hear about this. Happy birthday, belated, by the way, to Doiner. Happy belated birthday, Doiner. We love you.
And this, once again, we thank Doiner because this would not be happening if it wasn't for Doiner. Thank you.
I want to also thank Casey. That's important. I want to thank Casey.
Casey, if we say at the beginning, then we won't forget it then.
Right. Also, I don't know. I don't remember what the name was on there. It wasn't a person's name, but there is a new iTunes comment for us, which we always enjoy getting. We'd appreciate if you could go on there, not only rate us, but comment for us. That really helps us out, as well as like our YouTube channel and leave any comments on the YouTube channel. All your feedback not only helps us inside, but it helps us get money so we can keep upgrading this podcast and doing it bigger and better. Have you read this comment?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, this comment gives us a very good rating, five stars, and it talks very kindly of us. But they're requesting to know why you beat me up one time. And I think if someone's going out of their way to leave us a 5-star comment, you should maybe talk about it, because apparently people want to talk about this.
You're good. You're a great person, Glenn, and I'm a good person. Sometimes people have misunderstandings, and sometimes people are hard to love, but you still do love them.
I was hard to love. I could take that. But so was that like tough love you were giving me?
Do you want more love? I could give you as much tough love as you need, Glenn.
No, I don't want tough love. Because tough love, I couldn't walk the
That sounds like something. That sounds like something from the Blue Oyster Bar. Yeah, you want some tough love? I can give you some tough love.
You're still dancing around it. Our listeners want to know. And I mean, I guess when you're ready is fine. But just keep them comments coming.
Okay. Eventually, yes.
Eventually, it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when we do release that box set.
Special bonus. Like if you buy the box set, then it'll be on the box set.
Yeah, we'll do a special audio commentary. I think that's fair.
That is more than fair. I think that'll work.
Okay.
I'm glad I put you in charge of that, Glenn. So I'm sure we'll get that out. That's
on MF Jones. That's
okay.
On MF Jones.
Sure.
I think MF Jones sabotaged our internet thing here. I think he took out internet for most of the Panhandle.
For most of Florida.
Yeah, as a way to. Oh, hold on, Ian, come in. Sorry, Ian, you were gone, and I took over your room.
This was taken over, yeah.
And now we're on the internet, so you can wave. We're on this one, not this big expensive camera here. No.
That's Ian. Hey, Ian, what's going on?
Oh, great.
Because
Technical advantages.
Florida.
Yeah, you got battery warnings.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay, there, you can see your voice. You can see your voice. Okay, there you go, Glenn. Man, live internet TV. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
See if I can run somewhere.
Thank you. So, I picked a movie for us to watch, and I did that for a very reason. And I did that because I'm on vacation, right? I'm on vacation. We should watch a movie, right?
Something nice, something simple.
I picked National Lampoon's European Vacation. I did it for 2 reasons. Do you want to hear those reasons, or do you just not care?
Go ahead.
First, there is a new National Lampoon's movie coming out. Are you aware of this?
Is it a movie or a television program?
Well, there's rumors of this program, but there's actually a movie that started filming 2 weeks ago, and it will be about Rusty and his family vacation.
Okay.
Now, this may not sound great. However, Rusty is being played by Ed Helms.
Okay. Okay.
And his wife is being played by Christina Applegate.
Okay.
It will feature Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, the hottest woman on the planet in 1988, or at least the dirtiest hottest. What, you not happy with this?
I mean, I wanted to talk about this later, but there's a scene in this movie, I don't know, I felt like, I don't know, like this was her peak, I don't know, but I mean, I think later on she does those Showtime movies, which is also very nice, but I'm not sure what do you think her peak was? Because I mean, you're not in this for the emotional stuff, you're not in this to have a super relationship, you're just in this physically. So what is the physical? What physical part? At what time period would you be interested in?
I would say Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
I mean, because then she did Pacific Heights right after that.
Okay.
Do you disagree with this?
I thought maybe European was pretty good. I thought European was pretty good.
I loved European Vacation. I'm sad that I never gave it as much attention as I had. This is all I remembered about European Vacation was boobs. I remember it showed boobs.
But it wasn't her boobs.
No, it was not hers.
I thought it was her boobs. Okay.
But, now here we are.
So you want to do this because of boobs?
Well, no, that's just what I remembered about the movie in the past.
Well, what specifically?
What?
Because they're rebooting this, or they're having the Christina Applegate, Ed Helms movie.
Oh, why did I want to do it now?
Yeah.
I was on vacation. We haven't done it. It's the last of the 80s Lampoon ones we haven't done. I listened to this interview with Ed Helms last week. We talked about how when they asked him to do it, he said, I will never do a movie that will take down this franchise that I love. And then they made him read the script, and then he loved it. And he said, this is awesome. And he did it.
I think they're both hilarious people, so hopefully it'll be pretty good. I mean, it can't be as bad as Christmas Vacation 2, so.
Which is never talked about ever.
You don't think it's not in the canon? You don't think people
I mentioned it in conversation last week, and people did not know it existed.
It has the original Audrey in it, and it has Cousin Eddie in it, so.
Now, one of the things about this series is that they always change. It always changes the kids.
It's like I don't even recognize your kids anymore.
Right. Anthony Michael Hall, this being the second installment, was, in theory, supposed to come back.
AMH.
AMH for this movie, but he did not because he wanted to do Weird Science instead, which I don't think is a bad move.
Career-wise, it makes a lot of sense.
Especially if he read the script.
Instead, we get Robin Lively's brother.
And then
it's not going to work out, Glenn.
Audrey.
He's not going to just show up at your house, Glenn. Me and Robin, it's never going to work out. I mean, no matter how many times I think about it, it's fine. Just walking around outside, looking up at the stars. She's not going to just show up at my house.
Who played Audrey?
That other girl that played Audrey.
You know she's dead? Did you know she died?
She passed away?
In the 90s, 96.
Oh, well, I knew she had medical problems. Like, she was diabetic, and I think she had some other issues, too. Wasn't she... I thought maybe it was just an internet rumor, but I thought she was diagnosed with being bulimic or anorexic at one point, too.
With what?
Like, she was either bulimic or anorexic, too.
No, she had really bad diabetes.
Juvenile diabetes, okay.
And that's what she passed away from. In the scene that we'll talk about where she's eating, they had to be careful she didn't swallow any of that food in her nightmare scene because it would have messed with her blood sugar. So that's kind of sad, right?
That's sad. I know. But as far as the Audreys, she's really annoying. She is super annoying. But I
So
like the Rusty. The Rusty does seem very gangly and odd, and like a regular American youth. I can find myself getting behind Rusty. He is very odd and off-putting, but in a more fun way than Audrey is. He kind of reminds me of the little brother from Teen Witch. Like the little brother from Teen
yeah,
Witch and Audrey in this kind of went together and very just made you feel uncomfortable.
well, and that's weird because Robin Lively was in Teen Witch.
Yeah.
So, so this is how it all went down. The movie starts, and we're on a game show, Pig and a Poke.
Pig
It's
and a
hosted
poke.
by it's hosted by Gomez Adams.
I think that's actually Sean Astin's dad in real life.
It is John Astin, who
Yeah.
also was on Night Court a lot as a lovable character. So he has that going for him.
What was it like? Him and Harry had this special relationship somehow. Was he a magician or something? What
No,
was
he
his
ended up being Harry's dad. We found out.
That's what
later
it
on in the
was.
series.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So Gomez Adams makes out with Audrey, which is odd because she's
It
young
was like
in this movie.
he was like thumb in the ass, making out with her.
Another thing to note real quick about that is that she was much older, but her growth because of her diabetes stopped at 13. So she, into her 20s, was playing anywhere from 13 to 17-year-olds because she just looked that young. So I have no idea her actual age in this, but definitely older than
Because
she played.
I mean, if you're 18 and you're doing that with an actor, it's okay. But if you're like 13, I was like, she has to be older than 18 for some of the stuff that Gomez Adam was doing to her, and then especially even Mrs. Griswold too. He was all over her as well.
Well, wouldn't we both be? I mean, just saying.
Just saying. No big deal.
So they're on this game show. They have won all of these crappy prizes: Turtle Wax, Regal Turtle Wax, the whole works. A couple nice things, motorcycle, and Clark goes against the family's wishes because Clark does what he's gonna do. And
go for it, Sparky. Go for it.
And they make the decision to go for it, to be pigs. And
growing up, I always got this and then the Ziggy Piggy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure mixed up. I thought it was I always thought, but anyway, it's just two different pig situations.
you never know.
Yeah.
Lots of pig situations in the 80s.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to go against the Fogers. The Frogers.
They've got a daughter. She's the youngest person ever accepted into Harvard Law. Her father, the mother and father both have Nobel Prizes for something.
Yeah, they're a family of achievers. Also happen to be the oldest or the most successful team ever on Pig and a Poke. Now, the Pig and a Poke TV show, it's like a Family Feud, except they dress up as pigs.
Yes.
In full body pig suits. Chevy Chase still has his pig suit at home.
Yeah, I saw that.
I noticed,
he likes to keep mementos. A couple different Wally World T-shirts. And then also a sweatshirt, and then the Pig and the Poke costume. Because, people are over, you got the barbecue, kids are in the pool. I'm going to put on that pig costume.
Chevy Chase, notoriously not a nice guy.
I could just see him, drinking or, over drinking, and then just, wanting to do, yard work. Like, he's getting the hedge trimmers out, he's cutting everything down, he just starts mowing. Or picks up the mower and starts trimming the hedges that way. It would be. I think.
You lose your fingers.
Yeah.
Lose your fingers. So they end up winning by chance. The answer is Clark. She yells out Clark, and they win. Everyone is happy about this, except for the Frogers. They claim it's not fair, but they win the grand prize. No one wins the grand prize, Dad. which is a trip to Europe, all expenses paid, itinerary set, everything taken care of.
You don't have to plan anything, which is great, especially for Clark Griswold.
But he loves to plan things.
Well, it's already taken care of for him.
All right. Well, this is going to be awesome. We go home, and we see a man who he should have starred in this movie, William Zabka. You know what? Even when he's not playing like a direct jerk, he still was kind of a jerk.
You kind of feel like, remembering this, I thought he had a larger role, but he's just in that one scene and corresponded with over the phone and then a couple letters.
I mixed up his role in this with Carol Seaver's boyfriend in the Hawaii episode, Bobby, because Bobby ends up showing up in Hawaii, and for some reason I thought William Zabka was going to show up in Europe, but then I was like, well, how would that work? And then he didn't, and I was like, well, that's probably for the best.
Because in my mind, I thought he was going to show up with a girl, like he'd be at another famous site with a girl.
That's pretty far-fetched, though, that he
Fine. With the neighbor girl that is Audrey's best friend.
Sure.
And we're live. We're live.
Sorry about that. It's an unintended consequence I did not expect could happen.
Was it the baby monitor? What's going on?
That was Mom calling.
Okay.
Mom's probably upstairs.
No, Mom. No. I'll be when dinner is on. You let me know when dinner is ready. I'm not going to miss dinner.
I already cooked my night. I already did my night.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying someone else needs to cook.
Did you do shrimp? What did you do?
Oh, I did the steak kebabs with fruit instead of vegetables, and then some mushrooms, stuffed mushrooms.
Like apples and oranges? What did you do?
Apples and pears.
Ooh.
I've done it with oranges in the past. So I grill the fruit, grill the steaks, cut them up, and then I made stuffed mushrooms with mozzarella and blue cheese, and then fried pickles. My homemade recipe.
Homemade recipe. You do good. You do a good job.
Hey, thank you.
Good.
So no one wants to go. Audrey wants to make out with Jack. Rusty just wants to not go. And we have to take a vote. Clark wins the presidency by one vote over Jack, who wasn't even in the family. So, and there we go.
Well, one thing I wanted to notice is, like, the two kids, they're maturing. So they're definitely very sexually motivated throughout the entire movie. Both of them definitely need to have sex.
This movie was directed by Amy Heckerling, who has brought us some of the great teenage sex comedies of the last 2 decades. And you could definitely tell it had a different tone. Even though John Hughes wrote it, there was a lot more raunchier jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But so the kids don't want to go. They all decide they have to go. And next we cut to Clark with his giant video camera, which was actually Chevy Chase's personal camera. They borrowed for the movie, taking some shower video.
Well, you want top of the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know Chevy's got top of the line. Just ask him to borrow it. So he's filming Bev in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Bev.
At this point, I had to walk away. I was having physical issues.
Okay.
And I just... What is it about Beverly D'Angelo, Michael? Tell me.
I guess the scene was amazing to me. I don't know. I'm sure you felt identical. She does a good job. I don't know. There's something magical about her. She's good.
So he promises to delete it. Chevy, most likely against Beverly D'Angelo's wishes. I can't imagine she'd want to have coitus with Chevy on a bathroom floor and say myself or you or anyone else. But it happens.
So he's like, well, one other thing, he sets it up before coitus, and he's like, no, I'm turning it off, and then he sets it up so it's like pointing right at
there,
them.
so we can watch. Yeah.
One of my friends, he said it was a bad idea to do a sex tape because you see an awful lot of balls. So there you are.
That's hilarious. So then we're on the plane. Clark makes a couple stupid Clark jokes. They all have dreams. I don't know. This was a throwaway scene to me.
Yeah. But I really like Rusty's jacket.
Yes,
He came
Rusty
down the
has some
stairs.
awesome Euro
He's like,
clothes in this.
he's like coming down the stairs. It's like Rusty, European tour.
Yeah, he's like in a disco. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But they do have a lot of, I mean, including in the Lindsey Buckingham, they do have a lot of songs from the 80s that are very good. Like, you remember them from the 80s. So this probably has the best
Yes.
80s soundtrack, I think.
Of the 3 movies or ever?
Of the three movies.
Okay, I was gonna. Okay.
Whoa.
Whew. So this movie has a lot of reoccurring jokes that are fairly simple, but it's the formula. You know, you got to stick to the formula. For example, throughout, Clark and Rusty both wear Wally World shirts. Clark is always wearing the same Bears hat that you're wearing right now throughout all.
What are you talking about, Clint? I got this in my grandpa's house. I was like, we went through all grandpa's hats, and I was like, I'm keeping this one. This is nice.
So one of the so we get to the hotel. It's like they could have went full blast, like what a crappy hotel was, like in like big style.
Yeah.
But they kind of showed it and then they pulled back a little.
I know, it felt like
Bev's in the bathtub. She's talking.
It could have been a scene where they turned it up a little bit. The British guy could have taken his towel off and got in the tub with her, and then she could have taken it. I mean, they could have turned it up to 11. I think it would have been a lot funnier, you know?
Yeah. I felt like that they held back a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Like they had these ongoing jokes and they could have kept hyping them.
Like also, and even Eric Idle too, which gets introduced in Great Britain. Like he could have been at the other places. There were so many other little things that they could have just pushed a little further and would have been a lot funnier. For gosh sakes, we see like 13 pairs of nipples. I mean, how come we can't push the envelope somewhere else?
Right. Yeah, I think that was the solution. I have a feeling John Hughes did not want to do this movie. Fine, he's under contract after the first one. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll give you another one. And he just gave it to someone else. One of his assistants said, figure this out and I'll flush it out. Because there's a lot of things that just weren't John Hughes about this movie. And I'm not talking about the overt sexuality of it. Just he never really did a lot of just the cheap gags. Usually he tried to go further, and there's a lot of cheap gags in this movie, which I still enjoyed it. I'm not saying it's bad. But so yeah, the bathroom scene you mentioned, Beverly D'Angelo's taking a bubble bath. Clark, her husband, walks out of the bathroom without even telling her. Her eyes are covered in towels. Why would you walk out of the bathroom if Beverly D'Angelo's in your bubble bath?
Even though you got steak at home, Glenn, sometimes you want a hot dog. Just saying.
He gets in bed with another lady who had hairy legs.
Very British. Her face was very British. I mean, even she looked more like Diana than the Diana they had in the fantasy scene earlier in the movie.
Yes, I agree. And she did not seem at all shocked when she found out Clark was in the bed. She actually was ready to go to Pound Town.
The people in Europe.
There you go.
People in Europe are open to different things, and Americans aren't glad.
Lots of stereotypes in this movie. Lots of stereotypes. So he's ready to go to Pound Town, or she is. I apologize. And he decides he does not want to. So he could have had fish and chips, right?
Whatever the equivalent.
So, by the way, you know what tonight is, right?
Tonight is the last home game of the season.
Big Brother finale night.
Big Brother finale night. How many people are still left in the house?
3 going into tonight.
3 people?
3. Yes.
All right. I just described the people. I don't know their names.
Okay. So we have Derek. He's an undercover cop.
Okay, that guy.
Knows that. Yeah,
okay.
He's played the best. If he wins tonight, he'll go down as one of the best Big Brother players in the history.
I mean, if you want to be remembered for something. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We have Victoria. She has not won anything, and she's only there because no one will vote for her.
Which one's Victoria?
She's from Florida. She talks like, well, that's more of Nicole. Hi, Michael. She's has dark features.
Okay.
Maybe Middle Eastern almost. I don't know. Maybe Latino. And then we have Cody, who's like kind of this meathead California guy. he's not. He's fine. He's only there, but because Derek teamed up with him.
Who's the guy there's a guy that's like overtly homosexual, and then there's another guy.
That's Frankie Grande.
But then there's another guy who likes to spend a lot of time with Frankie Grande, who's finding out a lot about himself during the recording of this program.
That is Zach.
Okay.
Him and Frankie have been in the jury house together for a week, so I'm sure hijinks have ensued. So
it's just a tip, Glenn. It's just a tip. Sorry.
So, yes, that is happening tonight. So tensions are high. So, one of the gags you mentioned earlier is Clark keeps hitting people with cars. So this is to show the stereotype that apparently the English are the nicest people ever. He hits a man, and the man apologizes, thanks him for the opportunity basically to meet him and have his car hit by him, and they go. And then he gets right back in the car and he hits another man who's, you're from British, take part of my car back to New York with you, even though he's from Chicago, whatever. And then
what, this weather stripping?
And then he hits Eric Idle on his bike. Eric Idle played it as more of "I'm scared of you, don't hurt me" than polite. But yeah, so he hits him on his bike, and then Clark asks him for directions.
It's just a flesh
wound
wound
because he's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that begins one of the ongoing gags we'll touch on later. They end up going out to, is it Stonehenge?
They go to Stonehenge.
You son of a bitch. Where's my title?
I think if you could figure it out, if you could play with it. Anyway, we'll figure. We're learning things as we go. Hopefully, we'll get some video transitions. We can do some entrance music. Star wipes. Oh, I would not be opposed to star wipes. I think that'd be.
So then Clark basically knocks down Stonehenge. Continue on. That's right, Stonehenge, right?
The Griswolds are not going to forget us. They're not. I mean, they're not going to forget us here. But initially, when he first starts driving, he's a super shitty driver. They drive on the wrong side of the road and they put the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car. So Clark cannot be blamed, and he cannot figure out how to get out of that roundabout. And as far as movie quotes, I think every time I see a roundabout, I feels like I have to say it. Hey kids, there's Big Ben, there's Parliament. But I guess he got some letters. Did you see that Chevy Chase got some letters from people like, "Oh, I was in that same roundabout in London, and I also got stuck there." So maybe it's famous for that.
Yeah, those English and their tubes and chutes and roundabouts. Is it Stonehenge? Am I right?
Yeah, they do Stonehenge like immediately before they leave for France.
So they go to France. They want the gentleman to videotape them. Oh, by the way, Lewis is currently commenting on our link right now. That's in my phone.
Oh yeah.
Not
Also on the Facebook, he's better at Facebook than us, and he keeps commenting on stuff. We try to repost stuff, but we can't repost everything. If Lewis ever wants to do a blog, we will be behind him 100%.
There you go, Lewis. What are the odds he maybe doesn't even listen to the show?
You think maybe he doesn't. He doesn't even listen to the show. He's like, I just keep entering stuff. These people need my help. These people have no idea about 80s culture. These people need my help.
So we get to France. Rich man steals a camera, or a French man steals a camera. Sorry, steals their camera, their big video camera.
Take your shoes off. Take your socks. Take your shoes. Get in the fountain. Bring it in. Take all of France in. Take it all in.
And this is where we find out that the French are not nice people. This is what they're going to tell us. So they lose their camera, but luckily Clark deleted that scene. So
phone calls coming in left and right. You never know. You can't control these things. But
did something happen?
Something vibrated. But it's like he looks he looks right in the eye and he's like, "No, I deleted that," but he didn't. Because you could tell behind his eyes that he's like, I was going to use it. For stuff.
For stuff.
Yeah.
So, Clark decides that the problem is that the French don't know that they're French, because the French don't like other people. So if they can find one accessory that will tell every French person I'm French, they're going to do it. And that accessory is berets.
Yes. Rusty, here's yours. Audrey, here's yours. Bev, here's yours. And
so they all get
totally fine. Totally fine.
I'm sorry.
It's live internet. You can't.
It's my boss.
You only do so much.
Emily, do not text me. You know what? MF Jones is there. He should be handling her right now so she doesn't disrupt our podcast. So they go to a French restaurant. Clark's going to fit in. He's going to talk to the French waiter. This part was hilarious. The French waiter's just like, I can serve you, dishwater. Your wife's got beautiful breasts, or boobs. Your wife's got big boobs, stuff like that. And I thought it was a funny scene. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, but it seemed like if John Hughes had more control of this, it would have had a larger payoff. Like there would have been more boob comments along the way, or even in the game show in the beginning, he would have said stuff about the boobs then.
I agree. We need a little more continuity. But you know what? And another thing, so Beverly D'Angelo buys this nice nightie, and they build it up, but then there's no payoff to it ever, is there?
There is no payoff. Even she gets kidnapped, but I mean, can't she get kidnapped wearing the nightie? What's wrong with that? Right. I don't understand.
She just wants to stay in for the night in France, but Clark, he wants to get cultured. He's going to take her to a very nice art show. France is known for the arts, dating back hundreds of years, and all the way back to absinthe and green fairies and Moulin Rouge. I added all that in, not him. And he takes her to a strip aerobics show.
And you look, and Mrs. Griswold is the only female there. It's all Asian businessmen, and Clark and her.
Well, she decides she's going to leave, and then she notices there is one more female there.
A prostitute! Look, Clark! A prostitute!
Uh-oh, look who that prostitute's with.
Russell!
So at this point, we realize, they yell at him, he's drunk. That basically ends that whole scene. At this point, we realize...
Win in Rome, Dad. Win in Rome. Yeah, well, we're in Paris. And you're drunk.
So, Zapka, we realized we forgot Audrey was in the movie for a little while, and we were thankful. Rest in peace. But it turns out she gets a letter, and Zapka breaks up with her because he's hanging out with some slam hound named Cindy or something. I don't know.
They're best friends. Her and Audrey are best friends.
Well, she's just keeping them company, and they're comfortable enough to see other people. It's fine.
She's a real slam hound.
So next we're going to go to Germany and meet Clark's family. Another gag that they really could have picked up. So they're supposed to meet the family. They go to the wrong number place. Instead of 6, they go to 16 because the one's covered. They barge in on this German family. They eat their sausages. They show them pictures of people they don't know. Well, why didn't we ever have something with the other family?
I know. They're just waiting. There's something.
They could have helped them escape the town square skirmish that happens a couple minutes later. Something. Just another opportunity.
Chevy Chase with a mustache, as older as the other person, and then he comes through his rescue during the dance or whatever. There's so many more opportunities. I don't know. I think, especially with these 80s tropes.
That was in the films.
Sorry, text messaging. But maybe he did it on purpose. But it's there's so many more 80s tropes. People are just it's felt like they're just limiting themselves with this script. There's so many. I mean, it's a bad 80s movie. You could go so many different directions. It would be so much more entertaining than where they went here.
To clarify real quick, I just received a text message telling me my phone should be on silent from a text message from the very person who just text messaged me. I have to broadcast from my phone because Nathan broke the internet in Florida. Okay? Oh, come on.
This is kind
I'm
of
using
interaction
my phone.
we're getting this interaction.
I'm stuck in Florida.
Are you plugged
with
in?
No
Where's your
internet.
battery at, Glenn? Are you plugged in? Are you plugged in?
I'm plugged in.
All right, good. It's like it gives you these real moments that the other podcasts. God damn it, Glenn. God damn it, Glenn.
It's them. It's Nathan.
I don't know. Can't you silence it? Can't you do something? I got a thing on the side of mine that goes put-oop, put-oop.
Yeah, but then I have to. Hold on. All right, we'll see if that works.
I can hear you. You can hear me.
I can hear you. We'll just see what happens.
Fuck the police, man. All right. Moving on. So they end up going to Germany. One thing I really like when they first got to Germany is like they stops the car. He's like, the motherland. Everyone take it in. Rusty, take it in. And Rusty's like, yeah, isn't Mom from Chicago? Isn't Grandma from Chicago, Dad? Just a lot of, especially like during Irish heritage celebrations, people just kind of lose their shit, and it's just like, you really want to celebrate the one thing Irish is known for is people with alcoholism by drinking so much. Anyway, it just seems like, you know what? Clark felt something good, and you know what? He was experiencing Germany at that moment. A throwback to his Hills Are Alive moment earlier when him and his
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. We could have cut the Hills Are Alive moment where he redid that, and we could have added in a follow up with the family. Anyway, so Rusty finally meets a girl. She's a German waitress.
I would not have been opposed to like a musical number right there too. I mean, what the heck? It's a stupid '80s movie. Go for it. Like right when they first see the hills in Germany.
So Rusty grabs the girl. They go into an alley. She takes off her shirt, and then the hanging bell rings.
I'm not editing any of this. I don't care.
We're live.
That's live. Well, I mean, for our podcast, available at host@theawesome80s.com, and then you can email us there, and then also theawesome80s.net. We are available on Stitcher and on iTunes if you search for us there.
All right.
I'm doing
something.
All right. Well, I'll just talk about greatness. I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's necessarily greatness, but there's some moments in this movie that are great, and there's the boob scene. I mean, you can't get over the boob scene right there in the Moulin Rouge situation where they've got the lounge show. There's also the boob scene when Rusty's making out with the German girl. She's just right away a little more sexually adventurous. And then also they do initially they do meet up with a newlywed couple at one of the hotels, and they're making out constantly, making out all over the place. That's later on when they go to Italy. But another one of my favorite parts is just everything is becoming a lot more sexual, a little more for Audrey and Rusty, and they're making out at the kitchen at the dining room table with all these other patrons in this restaurant. And Rusty's like, "Dad, he's grabbing her boobs, Dad. He's grabbing her boobs."
All right, I fixed it.
Sure you did. Okay.
It's fixed.
But I mean, I could see this would definitely appeal to the 14-year-old boy inside of me. Not that I have any 14-year-old boys inside of me.
God.
All right. Well, I think we got that fixed. Remember, stay
got that fixed. MF Jones is being fined a week's pay. Not only is he not listening to us right now, he's disrupting the podcast.
He said he had no access to the internet. Motherfucker Jones.
So there's a fight. Clark gets invited to go on stage and do a traditional German jig. This results in him in fisticuffs.
They're doing this like slap thing, and he's like, I guess it's part of the dance, but then Clark took it one step higher.
As he does. So this starts a brawl that leaves Clark and the family running because the hanging bell's ringing. Rusty has to give up his woman. They run. They have to escape from town. They get on a train. They interrupt a bank robbery. They get free money, and they're smuggling money in, unbeknownst to them, along with a human. This leads to Beverly D'Angelo getting kidnapped. So, real quick, do you think that they're 150 pages into a 180-page script, and someone stopped and said, "We don't have a story yet."
Yeah, I know.
Like, how are we going to conclude this?
It felt like they could have done like an Inspector Clouseau thing from the beginning, where they would have seen, like, followed these people. Like, I know it seems kind of ridiculous that all these random people would be in each country as they go there, but why the fuck not? It's a stupid 80s movie, and it would at least have a story.
Yeah. So John Cleese, not John Cleese, I'm sorry, Eric Idle shows up.
Okay.
John Cleese is who I thought should have played the kidnapper. That's why I said that name. But Eric Idle, we have him again. We have a couple more hijinks about hitting him. Now there's all of a sudden, real quick, a kidnapping. Rusty's quickly getting laid. And
With Frank Zappa's daughter.
Moon.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, then the movie just kind of deconstructs from there quickly into a very quick, we have to do something to wrap this up. They stop the kidnapping, they save the world, and they fly home. Like, that's it. Like, all of a sudden, oh man, we don't have a story. Let's just do one.
They just do this random. I don't know. Definitely, you're like, at the beginning, like, when I first rewatched this movie, I'm like, I don't remember Gomez Adam being this physical with Audrey before, and I found it hilarious. And I'm like, everyone says this is the bad one. Let's give it a shot. And then it just, and it's just like, I don't know. It has a couple really funny moments.
It's got some funny moments. It's got nostalgia on its side.
Boobs.
I don't know. I liked it, but I won't watch it again prior.
Okay. So, I mean, do we know when this movie's coming out? No,
they're filming it as we speak. So next year sometime, I'm guessing.
So are they just going to be grandparents in it? And Chevy Chase? And...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that.
So
I hope
Anthony Michael Hall?
I hope that everyone... I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so. I hope everyone. I hope this episode wasn't too messed up. I apologize for any technical issues. Hey, when you have a live podcast, we can't just say, we'll just wing it without cameras because now we have cameras.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we can't do that here, which is fine. That's part of the fun. But I hope it turns out good. And thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, supporting. Go on iTunes. Write a comment, give us feedback, go on YouTube, subscribe, leave feedback, give us little upvotes or whatever they do over there, and go on the Facebook. Just, give us some love so we can keep giving you some love.
There's also, they're going to try to relaunch this property, but they're also currently trying to relaunch Facts of Life. They're going to have another TV movie. Are you going to watch that?
Yes. Oh, God. Stop.
They're making it for you, Glenn.
I don't want them to.
Did you? So you watched and you live twatted during the Saved by the Bell movie.
I did.
I just finished it. What do you think?
Horrible.
It was not a good movie. But I think
horrible. Screech is in a grotto. I don't know.
What's that you got there? Is that alcohol? It burns when I drink it. I think there's a good story there. This just isn't it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you think it should have had more warts? Like, it should have been more graphic? Should have had more sex, violence, drugs, like, depicted?
The book they based it off of had so much of that, and they didn't do any of that in this movie. They did like the PG stuff. If you're gonna do a TV movie about something, just blow it up.
It felt like they had a lot of sad Screech. That was about it. And you're like, I feel so bad for Screech. I'm so sad. But you can tell he's a weird dude, and he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
And they're older than him, so I mean. It would be hard for them to relate, and you could definitely feel like he definitely did feel alienated, and you could definitely see why he would not want to do a reunion.
Yeah, but there's more to it. I mean, that's just one sad kid's thoughts on things. I'm sure it's not completely not made up. I'm sure there's a lot of truth to it, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? We have to decide what we're going to do next week. And we're going to have a Halloween month coming up. We haven't talked about it, but no other time.
We're probably going to be pretty busy that month. It's going to be, hopefully, we'll probably get a lot of guests, some interviews, lots of special guests, lots of special guests. We're reaching out. Hopefully, you'll tell all your friends about how awesome our guests are. So,
as of now, we should. It's expected we're going to have Andre Grauer from the Star of Monster Squad to actually review that movie with us. So it's kind of something different we've done. We have a couple authors lined up who've reached out to us to come on their show. Did you see that?
Yeah, I thought I think it'd be nice to have them. They just wrote a book. It's about monsters. Is that correct?
It's about, they interviewed over 50 different horror movie directors, writers, producers, and it's about the cultness of the industry. So I'm looking forward to reading that tomorrow on the beach. And then they were nice enough to send us a copy. And then Garen will be back for Halloween 3 and many more surprises along the way.
The book, I guess they'll tell us about the availability, but it's called The Anatomy of Fear, Conversations with Cult Horror and Science Fiction Filmmakers. I think it's great that you're being forced to watch these movies, Glenn, or like expand your horizons. This is good.
I've played along, haven't I? I've been playing along.
Just grin and bear it, Glenn. It's good.
I'm really looking forward to Halloween 3. I actually am.
Oh, what about Monster Squad, Glenn?
I'm looking forward to Monster Squad. Talking to Andre, it was great to talk to him. So we'll be setting that up here in the next week or two, and we'll get that rolling. So I'm looking very much forward to it. And I want to thank everyone for listening, watching, recording, distributing our tapes on the bus. You're awesome.
It's like, go to the quad, get your cassettes, and pass them out to people. All right, thank you. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence. Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.